Jessie Knight. What a performance on this very track last weekend to upset some superstars in the Muller Indoor Grand Prix. The primary school teacher, they'll all be tuned in again, I know, today, down in Surrey. Inside her will be Amy Hilliard of Birchfield Harriers. Esther Adikpe is drawn in lane 4. Crystal Galley of Blackheath and Bromley. Again, tough qualification here. There are 3 heats and only the winner is automatically guaranteed a place in the final. There are 3 time qualifiers as well through to tomorrow's finals. There's no semi-final round again here. We are straight to the final. Well, last week, Jessie Knight on this track. Don't forget she's a 400-metre hurdler, by the way, as well. The flat is not her specialism. Beat Sviti Asetic, the European champion, Stephanie McPherson, Lisanne de Witte and Iga Baumgart-Vitan. I mean, that is a roll of honour that she turned over by surprise here last week. Her genuine reaction at the end was absolutely brilliant. And here she is now looking to capitalise on that form and take a British title.
Yeah, she's come into this championships as the clear favourite, and actually it's only about 0.2 of a second slower than what she went through last week. 24.87 in comparison to around about 24.6 if my memory serves me right last week. But I think this 400 metres, you've got to get out. I always told myself when I did a 400 metre heat, I'll run for 300 and then I'll just see how I feel. But it actually looks like she's running all the way to line here. Maybe she's just trying to get a really good workout this weekend. And again, a really good time, 52.84 seconds, which before last week would have been a big indoor personal best.
Well, you're right. I think maybe with the lack of semi-final round as well for the 400 athletes, they know it's going to be 2 hard races separated by nearly 24 hours. So I suppose you can go that little bit harder, can't you, in the heat? But Jessie Knight, very impressive there. Not particularly challenged by those around her, who will be looking for to sneak through as a time qualifier. And I'm sure Daintree Primary School in West Ewell in Surrey, where she's a year 6 teacher, will be once again very impressed by Miss Knight.
I'm sure there was lots of cheers when you just gave that shout out there, Chris. And I'm just thinking what the other 3 women thought when they drew Jessie Knight in the heat, when they were probably sat at home last week watching what she did.
We start on the outside with Thames Valley's Jessica Tappin. Another one of those who favours the hurdles. Nicola Kendall. I was right the first time. Nicole Kendall. Stacey Downey of Edinburgh. Natalie Ainge of Cannock and Stafford in the Black Country. So there they go, Tappin right on the outside, and Kendall, the Thames Valley teammates, just the one automatic place up for grabs, remember. And when we look on paper, sorry Jim, Nicole Kendall with a 54.98 best so far in 2020 in lane 5 as they come round and try and hit the break. It wasn't an issue for Jessie Knight earlier on because she had about 10 metres clear, and Kendall, her training partner, is following a similar suit here.
Yeah, it's a similar affair, isn't it? We've got 2 400-metre hurdlers again in the first 2 positions here. Very like Jessie Knight, although obviously she could be a 400-metre runner in her own right. But a lot of these women are choosing to do the 400 metres in preparation for that outdoor event, of course. Nicole Kendall just having a little bit of a look there. Just tapping, just still a couple of metres further back. But it looks like Kendall is going to go all the way to the line. But here's Tappin with a late surge. And Kendall holds on.
55.26 for Nicole Kendall ahead of Jess Tappin. So Kendall books her automatic place in the final, and Tappin will have to wait and see if her time behind the winner at 55.26. The time for Kendall. Holly Turner on the outside for Crawley is the first that we meet in lane 6. It's Zoe Pollock, who took the Bucks silver medal last weekend in the 400 behind Izzy Boffey, who's another of your training cohort, Jen, who's actually running the 400 with a bit of speed rather than that's not her speciality. Emma Alderson of Liverpool, who's all on her own back there in lane 3. Yeah,
I enjoyed watching that race last weekend, and I thought Zoe Pollock ran really, really well. So I think she's got a chance for medal come this final.
So Zoe Pollock out of lane 5, who's based at Loughborough, of course, under the tutelage of Nick Dakin, still qualified as an under-23, and she's gone blazing out through the first 100 or so down the back as she comes through the inside of Holly Turner from Crawley outside her. And as they come round towards the bell again, Pollock is going to have a relatively serenely unchallenged route to the break.
Yeah, she's got a commanding lead, hasn't she there, Pollock? Just over 26 seconds. It's really hard to hold back in a 400 metres, even though you think you'll make the final. So it's really important to still get out at least for that first 200 metres. But Holly Turner's doing really well there in second position, closing her down, of course. She had such a bigger lead than that at the bell. And here it is, it's Turner working really hard off that bend. And can she overhaul Pollock? She looks like she can.
Well, what a run from Crawley's Holly Turner down the outside there. Well, on form this winter, we had Zoe Pollock as the favourite for that one, but Holly Turner, you've got to say, she's timed that to absolute perfection. She just sat in behind Pollock.
So last weekend was a big championship for her. Come into this weekend as well. 2 successive championships, back-to-back weekends is really tough, but she'll go again in that final.
This is one of the names that catapulted into people's consciousnesses last weekend. Jessie Knight. What a performance last weekend to win the Grand Prix in a huge personal best. She's ranked number 5 in the world. Holly Turner of Crawley set a lifetime best in winning her heat in lane number 5. Nicole Kendall, who's a training partner of Jessie Knight. Zoe Pollock, the British University silver medalist. Loughborough base missed the whole of 2019 through injury, did Zoe Pollock. Jessica Tappin, another of the hurdlers, making this lineup as well. Her lifetime best to make the final. This is Crystal Galley of Blackheath and Bromley. This is her first competition of the year. Well, Jessie Knight, coached by Marina Armstrong, of course. I'm sure we've got Year 6 from Daintree Primary School down in Surrey as well, watching on for Miss Knight's performance. I don't know if they've given her Monday off tomorrow if she wins this, but either way, out in lane 6 at the moment. Kendall, her training partner from Thames Valley Harriers, and right on the inside, Galley, as you have to do from lane 1, has really tried to lay it down in the first 100 metres. But it's Jessie Knight by 5 metres at the bell. She goes through in 25.32. This is pretty quick from the world ranked number 5, who saw off the likes of Stephanie Ann McPherson and Sveti Asetic and Lisander Witter and Iga Baumgart-Vitan last weekend on this very track, and it's going to be another winning performance, and there's something unravels for her in the closing stages. Jessie Knight, unsurprisingly at the moment, is blazing away with this one. Knight by 10 metres in the end, probably. She's the champion in 52.76. Jessie Knight takes it. The silver medal goes to Holly Turner from Crawley, who really turned it on in the second half of the race, and tight in the end for third there, with Crystal Galley right in the mix.
Really interesting race there, and you know, Chris, we've talked about favourites being here this weekend, and I'm not sure there was anyone more of a favourite than Jessie Knight for this title here, but really interesting. You know, of course I like my statistics, but she went through in 25.32 seconds, which was around about half a second slower than what she went through in the heat yesterday, and she finished up with 1/10 faster. So yesterday we thought she had clear indications that she just wanted to get 2 hard races done this weekend. Of course, the women's 400, only 2 rounds. She was a clear favourite, but really interesting. I think she's just finding her feet still at this event.
It's hard, but I just want to put on a good show, so that's the important thing.
Yeah, you certainly did that today with your British record, as we see our women's 400 metres medalists, and Crystal Galley there, who, well, she can just about get herself on the podium. You had that feeling, Jen, when your 400 days?
Lactic, yes, my old friend.
Yeah, that's a great performance for Crystal Galley, though, for Blackheath and Bromley, who I'm sure has taken inspiration from what her clubmate Dina Asher-Smith has achieved. Holly Turner, it's a long way from Crawley up here, that is for sure. It's not too far from your club Tunbridge, is it? It's Crawley, just across the Kent-Sussex border, that one, Tom, right down under your Leeds base these days. But here's Jessie Knight, though, wins Slough, Eton and Hounslow. And once again, a pro. She didn't get a medal for last weekend for winning the Grand Prix. She got a lot of headlines and a lot of talk about her, but she gets something material at least for her success this weekend, and that's a great way to end her indoor season. And it's exciting, I'm sure, for everybody connected with her at what could come later on in the year. Of course, you don't want to be peaking necessarily in February, though, do you? You want to be peaking in the summer in an Olympic year.